We're going to try a little bit of this. Okay, so hey, thank you all for being here. We talked about our Warhammer game and everything on Saturday. Right now, do it like this. I have taken a lot of the content that we talked about Saturday live on the Twitch stream and mimicked it up here. Money for nothing, get your clips for free. That's right, that's right. Seems good. So here's what I have currently, and I know not everyone is out here reading this yet, so I wanted to share it everybody. So Thorm Onyx Grip is the character that I will be playing. Yo, Source, what's up, man? Good to see you. Source Connect is semi-AFK. No worries, no worries. I know. Mostly AFK, understood. We're just getting started. I had just came back from break, switching games over to chat here, and we're just basically getting going on talking about everything. I don't have my document camera set up tonight, but I've got all of the... Oh, well, maybe I do have it set up. Let's see. Oh, no, I unplugged it. All right, that's fine. So just sharing with you a little bit about bounce around the HCD verse tonight. Almost coup time. Yeah, we're ready. Ham, fire away on those questions. I'm ready. Source said he's mostly AFK right now, but he did just make an appearance right before you return. Good to see you all. Nightbot's like, yeah, no. Nightbot. I gotta edit that. So this is my intro for my character right now. I wrote it, kind of started as like a little short story. I haven't really gotten... Man, that fizzy soda. It's not soda. It's like some zero sugar stuff, but it's pretty tasty, but man, it is carbonated. Woo! True. So when I build a character, am I limited to how I can role play that character, like backstory and how he'll fit into the scene? Of course, maintaining the constraints of the book. So I would say you're as unlimited as the book would allow, which is quite wide there. Yeah, I don't know what this is. Yeah, sparkling ice, exactly. Yeah. My buddy stopped drinking soda. He kind of cut soda out of his palate, and he'd been drinking soda a lot, and it was a big deal. And so I was like, dude, I'll get some alternatives. I'll have them in my fridge because I don't really drink soda on the regular anymore either. Mostly out if you get some food or something. Not like at a restaurant sit down, but like if you get fast food. But these are tasty. Yeah. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. So I'm writing this up in short story form factor. Here is just the beginning part, is all I've written so far. I just keep adding to it as I come back to it and have time. I would say unlimited, but you're playing a character. So what you do in line with that character, what you would actually do, not what you would do. Right, exactly. It's the constant put yourself in someone else's shoes thing, but then not only put yourself in someone else's shoes, your character's shoes, then actually think about how they think and act in a sense how you think they would. The more you can do that, then the better you understand the personality you've created out of this piece of paper, right? If you take parts of yourself and utilize that as the role, then so be it, you know. Maybe you're a real jocular fellow. You like to make jokes, right? Okay, so maybe you just bring part of that humor into your character, whatever your character is. Like, perfect. I mean, that's just flavor. No one of us, including the GM, is going to tell you what, like, I think you can't be an elf, I think, is about the only thing. Maybe you can be. Shit, I don't know. Maybe you're the elf that doesn't have a sheet that's running the store. You know, I know that Source mentioned folks being able to play the game without even needing a sheet if they wanted to. You have control of your backstory. Some things, places, names, family names may need to change. Right. Exactly. If you've written into your story a specific place, and it might be somewhere else, but, you know, the place you designate within the place you were, or whatever. Yeah. So my story starts out in Barak Var, which is the town, the stronghold port city that we're all stationed, living at, stationed, whatever, say it, the stronghold, right? The Onyx Grip family is kind of the lead family locally in the stronghold. And my cousin Hemrak, he had just left on the boats that we waved away at the pier to go on a quest. Storm Onyx Grip turns away from Barakvar Pier, having waved his last goodbye to the outbound fleet. He pushes through the diminishing pier-side throng, comprised mainly of dwarf and several humans, making his way down the fine stone path towards the Barakvar's customs house. Throm imagines what may lie ahead for the departing fleet of Border Prince nobles on their noble quest. This quest to raise an army, or two, and return to defend the region, swept up his cousin Hemrak, Onyx Grip, and many other prominent Barakvar nobles. Hemrak is aboard the flagship of the fleet, and may still be. Thorn pauses, turns, glances back towards the. He squints his eyes as he confirms they're nearly lost to the horizon, barely a dark smudge at the edge of visibility. As he turns back and moves down the road towards the customs house, he makes a quick guess on the current time, based on his memory of the morning sun. Not late enough for lunch, he thinks. Thinks about it regardless. He turns to the left of the stout stone pilot's house before sidling past the trader merchant's handcart and into the open door of the finely crafted and well-trafficked customs house. The last few years of heavy fighting throughout the region settled into a temporary lull recently, the yellow-eyed goblins and further orc tribes seeming to focus their wah elsewhere, and locals are using every bit of this time to prepare for the next round of attacks. Hemrak's quest to raise armies and march them back to the border princes is seen as a long-term plan, providing support years later, if it ever materializes. Excuse me. During the intervening years, we won't be idle either, thinks Storm. My taskings by Hemrak's father and Stronghold Lord to establish a frontier village along the Skull River, northeast of Balikvar and the Varinka Hills, is prepared to depart. Yeah, I need to work on that one. We'll have our hands full building up and protecting ourselves in that wild frontier. Stronghold scouts have patrolled and confirmed the designated areas are uninhabited by greenskins, but that could always just change in mere moments. The location is on the west bank of the Skull River, just upstream of the confluence of the Howling River. We should have enough supplies to build a medium-sized longhouse, and should do so near the river's edge. Wild Bellsprout in chat. Let's throw some Pokeballs. So yeah, that's me starting to tell this backstory of Thorm. I wanted to incorporate a little bit of the Barak Var lore with the Onyx Grip family, because that Onyx Grip family was my character in the last campaign. So the really cool part about this game is the Hemrak Onyx Grip that he talks about is my original character in our Noble campaign that we played for almost 5 years, that one campaign. And And in that campaign, day one, we left the Bargvar Pier to sail all the way around up to Marienburg to start our journey. And so I wrote this story as I was waving them away, because this game starts the same day that game started that we finished almost 6 years ago. Had played for 5. Like, so this is literally starting the same day as that other quest. It's really cool, dude. Canon, dude. Yes, Source, man. I was like, so what's the timeline? Where are we at? And are we like 20 years ago? He's like, no, you just saw those guys leave. I was like, oh, what? So good. Oh yeah, Pandaberry caught it. Nice. So I was pretty impressed by that little connection there. I was like, oh, okay, all right. And it just kind of started falling in place then, because then I was going to be the noble of the campaign. I was like, well, I could lean on my historical knowledge of the faction, the Onyx Grip faction that I created already. That's flavor I know best because I made it. I see myself more of as an annoying bard. Do you sing the song everybody likes and they all start talking, and then you hear something you don't like, so you start playing the song that's kind of like grating, and you get to see people like turn around and be like, what are you playing over there? Are they throwing tomatoes to your Witcher? I mean, you know. Has anyone seen The Witcher since they switched over yet? I don't feel like I'm gonna enjoy it. I don't know. I'm a little biased towards the original cast. Fey touch ruin, but it seems kind of cliched. Well, and I don't know. Source, is there any kind of Fey player characters in the game? Now I know I'm just gonna look here. I don't know what all options there are. Okay, this is actually really basic right here. Page 14, the 4 races. So it looks pretty straightforward, as far as not really. The 4 races of the old world are human or man, elf, dwarf, and halfling. That's it. Everything else is monsters and shit. More experienced players may decide to take the roles of characters of races outside these basic 4. Details in the player characters of the races will be published in the future, right? And supplements, okay. For now, the only 4 major races will be considered. And then at that point, it would be a question for Source. A halfling is essentially like a hobbit. They couldn't use the word hobbit, I believe, and so they had to come up with their own word. Yo, Obite, what's up, man? How you doing? Welcome in. I was just sharing with everybody my little story that I've written up so far for my character, and this is in our campaign forum on Roll20. So if you do end up playing, you're welcome to come out here and just click post new topic. You click the link in Discord to the Roll20, and it should be invite you and it'll let you utilize it. If not, just message me. But see, it's got Groove Face showed up, Weave, and Source, and it's marked Source as the GM. Well, they don't have classes, Good Noodle, so that's kind of the thing. It's different about this game. I said before it was like Warhammer or Dungeons Dragons like, but that's one of the major departure areas. They have you have a profession in this game, and it's almost like kind of like your career for what skills you have, what tools you have, and how you make a living surviving. So there are classes that are druid-like. There is magic, and I know that's an academic. So the classes are like the overarching types like warrior class, academic class, rogue class, ranger class. And in the warrior class, you've got all the fighting ones. So my profession is noble. That's a warrior class. So you less pick your class and you more pick your profession, which has a class, if that makes sense. So in this game, you pick your profession. They start on page 20, and this book is linked in the Discord. It's pinned, the TTRPG-text Discord channel. That's a lot of letters to say. But you can refer to this book, and it's I think it starts as Hanbury. That's awesome. Do it. Please do. Yeah. The professions start on page 20. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna plug in this dock camera in real quick. Let's see if it works. Did you hear the computer beep at me? Did it do the Windows deep? No, it didn't, because I think this works pretty well. Dot cam. You did hear the beep. Okay. Oh, device is ready. There we go. Okay. OBS might not like it coming in while it's live. I might not like being turned on from before the all right, well, anyways. So, dot cam, no go. I need to plug it in before I turn Discord on is what's going on. Okay, yeah, no worries. No worries, Good Noodle. We out here doing it. That's right. So, we love to be boop. Would you say the learning curve is steep and overwhelming? I would say no, primarily because you really, it depends on how hard you want to go. Do you want to end up with your own character sheet and play it like in that full spectrum? It's not overwhelming. There is a bunch of information. It's just you're going to get it in little bites because only the little bit that you're looking at is relevant at first, right? So it's set up to have a bunch of bite-sized bites in the beginning. And so that helps for learning it, digesting it without being too much of a learning curve. I prefer pencil. I use a 0.7 lead. And an eraser. This is my old school calculus class gear. Yep. And then, you know, I posted it online. This is not a document camera by any means, but God, that's horrible, actually. But yeah. Yeah, you're going to need to erase stuff. You'll need to add stuff. Stuff will change. Sometimes you'll just need to update it. That's it. I always recommend pencil for anybody, really. Dude, like that's some chaotic shit writing it in pen though. I mean, you just chose your alignment by nature, right? Your alignment chose you. I don't know. Is it? You know what I mean? It's kind of like, whoa! Ride the lightning, baby. We going in pen. Oh, this ain't no erasable pen, mind you. Oh, don't make me bust out the quill. You click the link. It says, I don't know what I did wrong. Oh, okay, Obite. Let's see. Let me invite you manually. Will you send me your... hang on. Oh, I could copy this link here. Hang on. I'm going to whisper you a link in Discord. Obite, try that. Do you send me a message? Where's... I got streamer mode blocks shit. It's hard to see. Yeah. Found you. Okay, hang on. Try that link now. Let me know if that works. And I gotta come back to chat. There we go. Dude, love a good quill. Exactly. Your fan's so funny. Oh, that worked. Okay, cool. So anybody that is joining, if you have issues like that, just let me know. I just send you an invite link, and you click that. It's like a direct link invite, so you just come on in. So now I should be able to hit F5. Oops, wrong page. On this page, and there you are. Bam! Kick from the game. Hasta! No. We want everybody here. So, yeah. So go down here, hit post new topic, and create your own entry for your character. I recommend the title just be your character name. And you could add whatever. If you're an artist, draw that shit up, man. Draw my guy. I'll start putting physical descriptions here in a minute in there. I was working my way into the story. But yeah, start a thread with your character's name if you would like, and then use that as your free creative space to document anything. And the cool part is HamLab, this is Roll20. It's another one of the resources we linked in the Discord. But let me just send you an invite as well. Manuele. Did it copy? Go. Okay. There we go. There you go. Try that link. That should do it for you. Okay. Yeah, I'm having trouble making a backstory for my character because I'm a fisherman. There's not much to talk about in it. Well, you say that, but there's a human involved there, not just a fisherman. So, do you have a wife? Do you have a husband? Do you have a child? Children? Do you have, were you ever in a storm? Did you ever find anything exciting without fishing? Did you ever see a sea monster? Have you been attacked by greenskins? Like, I could brainstorm for you all day, man. If you would like some ideas, feel free. Take all of them and run or none. I mean, so it just is like this expanding option of things you could talk about. Family, friends. Do you like the smell of grass? Like all the things that a human has. Like this is where it gets as detailed as you want it to be. A wild slaking in chat. Yo, Racely, what's up? Welcome. We are playing Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay version 1. I didn't mean to click in there. Did I mess it up? No. Okay. Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay version 1. Good to see you, by the way. Welcome in. We got a wild slaking in chat. Let's throw some Pokemans at it. Pokeballs at the Pokemans. So this is my character, and we rolled them up the other night, Saturday, and we have a community goal to be able to Well, I mean, the campaign goal currently is for us to, let me pull up the map and look at that stuff. So we got the roll 20 here. Here's our current players. So there's a link to the Twitch bot or highlight. And then myself, Spartan, I'm Thorm Amish Grip, and I'm going to be the Dwarf Noble, which is the Noble is my profession, and that profession is a warrior class. So I've listed the classes in parentheses, but you don't pick the class, you pick your profession, and then your profession determines your class. So it's a little different than some other systems. Caught it. Thank you for that. Excellent. Ham's got my back. So you picked your race: dwarf, human, elf, halfling, hobbit type. And then we've got the noble profession have hangers on, and I rolled for those, and so these are NPCs that I will be controlling. A squire, which is a warrior class, a prospector, ranger class, a boatman, warrior class, and a physician's student of the academic class. Now the prospector, the squire's squiring. He's taking care of all my stuff as a noble, you know, whatever. I'm not a real, as you'll see as I detail out my backstory, my character has the physical capabilities of being a good fighter, but was never really interested in that as a primary thing. So while he can do all the standard sword and shield and spear and hammer things that a dwarf would be expected to do as a noble, it's not his jam, and he's never really focused on that. And so some of the skills of diplomacy and talking and interactions have been more his thing. That's why he works in the customs house instead of out in the army. So Squire's going to be helping him with that. Prospector's going to be out looking for lead, salt, saltpeter, healing herbs for the physician student, because the physician student's going to be able to do all of our kind of basic herbs and poultices and whatnot. Night Trap lured me into a trap. Hey, 7's a D20. So I'll tell you. So I'll roll weapon score, which is a D100. I gotta get under 43 to hit. Success. Okay, so in Warhammer, that's how it works. The type of attack you're using, you have to roll under that stat line, right? And so weapon score, WS, is right there. And my weapon score is 43. So when you're making an attack, you say, I'm making a melee attack with this weapon in my hand, sword. In my case, it's a two-handed hammer. I would have hit, and then you flip to the back to where your weapon is at. Well, let's see. Nope, sorry. Hand-to-hand weapons on the front here, and it's going to have encumbrance and weapon score, and then you'd have to know how much damage to roll on that. And the damage stuff is usually like D6s of some sort. Roll a D6. If you get a 6, that's a critical. So what you do is if you get a critical, you then roll a D100 to confirm it. This is all way over the top. If you get under your score again, which I did, then you roll D6s again, and that's just added damage. So whole lot of that, we'll always explain that if that comes up. Don't have to remember any of that right now. Warhammer is weird. It is weird. So you roll to attack, you got to roll under your stat line. And then if you hit, the damage is dependent upon. Yep. So that's the basic thing. The other parts I showed you are the crit rules, but, you know, that's something that we would explain at the time. You wouldn't have to, like, remember that. So those are the 4 hangers on that I have. Is this readable on the screen for everybody? SO raised me on 3.5 and Pathfinder. Oh, racially, okay. I never got to play Pathfinder yet. Nice, nice. You can see it? You can read it? Okay, cool. I know I'd look it over here just to make sure, but I'm sitting here closer. I don't know. Just want to make sure. So Obite has chosen to be another fellow dwarf, an engineer, which is critical. So the first thing we're doing, we have on hand stone, timber, nails, supplies, and enough to build a small to medium-sized longhouse. a small, medium-sized, large house. And then this is the map of the region that we're in. And yeah, we need 1 long boy, please. Exactly. So where we're at when we started is this area called Barak Var right here. And it's shaped like an anvil. And that represents a dwarven stronghold. Any of your Barak named places, Barak and Karak, are going to be your dwarven strongholds. So you'll notice up here, Karak Hern, Karak Izor, Karak 8 Peaks, and they all have that symbol. So that's what you are seeing here on this map, Barak Var. So this is the main fleet point for the Dwarven Navy. Dwarven Navy is a little bit of a kind of a steampunky, kind of technology-laden, magic-laden kind of ships. Their main force fleets of Barak Var. And our goal mission is to go up into the Varenka Hills, which is this area in brown right here, and set up a small village and start being able to gather resources, provide scouting for the local area, and possibly grow into something larger, maybe a small town, maybe something beyond. And so that was our tasking. Go to the Varenka Hills, start this small village. This is a noble tasking from the Lord of the Barak Var stronghold, Lord Onyx Grip. After reviewing the survey plots and the area locally, we've determined that this spot under my cursor right here, this river coming north to south, is the Skull River right here. And it comes all the way down around the Varenka Hills and then right through past Barak Var out to the sea. Well, right here, as it gets to this part, the Howling River comes in from the east and merges into the Skull River. And so just on the western bank of and just upstream of the Howling River confluence, we're going to build our longhouse. Because we're also going to have later a shipping, a little bit more of a pier than just a little small pier. It will be a little more that some of the larger boats that travel this way maybe have a tavern to stop at, maybe have supplies, general store to pick up supplies, etc. You know, if one of y'all want to play, but you don't want to learn all the rules, you don't want to roll up a character sheet, but you want to play, just that is possible. You could be like one of our merchants in the town, and Source talked about this a little bit in the last session. Just have a little back and forth with Source and tell him what kind of merchant you want to be, and that can get you started. Like, get you set up with some scratch money to start, some initial inventory or whatever. Then you're just setting up a kiosk or a cart. You know, you got a hand cart. You run your business out of a hand cart. Whatever. Like, you could do all that through the tabletop role-playing game text chat and Discord. So the goal here is, yes, if you want to play full on, go hog wild and make a character, that's great. That's the the far end of that spectrum of playing. But there's still a lot of room for folks that don't want to learn all the rules or roll up character sheets. You'll still do dice rolls. You'll still need to roll for certain things. But, you know, I don't know. I don't know how that makes sense. Yeah, it's like, I would say half of Mississippi, just on a guess. So a very full-size large river. There is major traffic coming through, barge traffic, coming down to Barak Var. The Mad Dog Pass here is essentially the entrance point to the east to the west. Like once you get through the other side of the Mad Dog Pass, you're in the eastern lands. Like, and it is very. Oh, no problem. It should be in the TTRPG chat room or the text channel pinned. And let me just look myself and make sure that's correct. So you go to TTRPG-text, and then up at the top you click the pins. And oh, it's not there anymore. Wait a second. Maybe it's pinned in the other spot, but didn't get pinned here. Okay. At first we were putting stuff at 2 spots and that confused me, so let me check. I thought I cleared it up, but thank you for okay, well, I gotta find the link. You know what, I've been saying it's pinned up there and we broke the link, or I broke the link. My bad. Okay, hang on. Let me scroll back up here. Character blank. I'm just seeing if it's actually in chat at all. If not, okay. Scroll to the top of the thread. It's in the top of the thread. It's not pinned. I'm sorry. I'm gonna pin it now, though. I'm like, wait, that's not pinned. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay, now it should be pinned. Yes. Yes. Okay, it's pinned. Pinned actual, not pinned fantasy. I failed my pinning roll apparently before, but I didn't notice that I failed my pinning roll until I observed. You observed, and then you were like, I don't think that's right. And I'm like, wait, what? What? Dude, thank you, Ham. Thank you. You're welcome. Nothing quite like human error. That's right. ID 10T. Yes. Excellent. 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 Welcome back, Source. Welcome back, Source. So we didn't have the book pinned. It was actually at the top of the thread, which you can't pin the top of the thread. So I posted it and pinned it now. We're like, I swear it's there. Yeah, well, it is, just not where you're saying it is. Hey, 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 hey. What? Hey, 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 hey. 2 wild and crazy guys. I said, whoop, doggy dog. Whoops, whoops. Wild Hatram in chat, let's do it. So that is the plan currently, is to set up on the confluence of the Skull and Howling Rivers in the eastern Varenka Hills, build a longhouse, not die, and then do all that other stuff. Is an and operator, not an or operator. I have dolphin brain right now. Is half paying attention. No, I feel that. You know what's cool? Exclamation point hype as one of my favorite emotes. Hype cool. Or colon hype. How about a soothe operator? Soothe operator? That might be like a let me see what that reminds me of here. I was thinking soothsayer might be. Oh yeah, I was gonna grab these glasses. Yeah, I gotta get some of my readers because sometimes it's need to read. Fire. Okay. I can't look at anything but what I'm looking at with these things on, or I'm just like, horrible. Oh my god. Okay. So that's the wrong chart. Oh, I can't look at chat with these on. Hang on, I gotta pull them down over my nose so I look like I'm looking over the top of them, which I am. Okay. So how new or old is this establishment again? Barag Var is thousands of years old. The place that we're creating does not exist yet, so none years old. If your question was something other than what I responded to, please let me know. So, Professor Spartan, best Spartan, right? I gotta get my suit coat on here. Okay, so in the academic section, the rogue class has these careers in it: agitator, bawd, and that's B-A-W-D, not B-A-U-D, you nerds. Beggar, entertainer. So a soothsayer or a sooth person may be an entertainer. A footpad, gambler, grave robber, jailer, minstrel, peddler, raconteur, rustler, smuggler, thief, and tomb raider. So those are the rogue, the careers within the rogue class. And okay, here we go. In the academics one, it's alchemist's apprentice, artisan's apprentice, druid, engineer, exciseman, herbalist, hypnotist, initiate, pharmacist, physician's student, scribe, seer, student, trader, and wizard's apprentice. I'm gonna look up seer because now a seer on page 38. Seers are self-appointed religious authorities operating outside the normal churches. They can be found in the marketplaces of any town, proclaiming their latest revelations to anyone who will listen. In the age of religious intolerance and competition, seers may appear to be opportunists, poaching from the genuine beliefs. In an age where the mental illness is not fully understood, the seer may be more realistically seen as an eccentric. Some of them may actually be divinely inspired. More often than not, though, they're either charlatans on the make or completely unhinged. So yeah, that's a couple different ones. Seer, Pandaberry. Seer sounds like what you're thinking, a sooth operator. A smooth operator. Oh yeah. But seers are good too. So I really got all sorts of distracted there. So is anybody else out in chat? Panberry, you expressed interest. Ham Labs, you also. I'm gonna go ahead and add you both to the list if you're any remotely down. try to shorten this up. Okay, we've looted Rufe. Okay. Okay. Us seafarer people are so superstitious. That's right. It's because you don't really know what's out there, even though they tell you they might know. Oh, yes. So, are you, Panberry, Seer? Do you want to be human or dwarf, or kind of the main ones in this area? Elf is kind of a special case you'd need to talk to Source about. The other option would be halfling. Those are pretty much the only, based on where we're at right now. Voice chat could be in order for you before campaign night, though. For sure, Am. And, you know, anytime Source is able to meet up in Discord, you could do that with him and just have a conversation. Roll up your numbers. Page 20 is all of your initial starting career choices. And so think of it like that. You pick your career, which is how you feed yourself. And that career is a part of an umbrella class, you know. Just like up here, you'll see each of these has listed. I'm a prospector, that's a ranger class. I'm a boatman, that's a warrior class. I'm a physician student, that's an academic. So I kind of think of like class in this game as, yeah, just it's the umbrella descriptor. Yeah, I mean, Grufe, you probably work out a trade deal or something with Pandaberry's character as, like, to give you some, you know, I don't know how superstitious you are if you're going and getting blessings, not blessings or whatever, but like, you know, these kind of charms, or maybe like get a reading of the bones or something that's going to tell you, you know, how's this fishing trip going to be, you know, like. There's all kinds of stuff that you could do there. Yeah. Okay, just updating your bio. Yeah, this is great. I want to join, but get a refrain and see what happens. Beach hole, boo. It looks very in depth. Hey, yeah, good noodle. Yeah, no worries. And like I've said before, I don't know if you heard, you don't even have to have a character sheet if you just want to play in chat. Just have a DM or a voice chat with Source, and just let him know, and he'll be able to help you figure out what would be the easiest way for you to do what you said. You know, if you have an idea, our whole thing is we're trying to make this work for as many people that want to do as many different things as possible. We've got a framework, and that's it. We're not trying to lock anybody in, you know. Well, awesome. I'm super glad, you know, having folks be like observers of a role-playing game is actually almost unheard of. And let me say that again. Having external observers for any good long-term running role-playing game is very hard. It's rare, very rare. And I'll tell you why. From my experience, it's a challenge to get people to get out of their skin and get in someone else's head. And then it's another challenge to get out of your skin, get in the head, and then role play as this other person in front of people. You could say, I take out my sword and attack, you know? There's more options than just the basic words, right? And so how comfortable you are and how much fun you're willing to have, how crazy or silly or wild you're willing to be sometimes. Can really be like a catalyst for fun for everybody, you know. Sometimes being a little silly is just awesome. I mean, I tend to just have a little bit of that in me, you know, a little bit of the whimsical. Today, I saw somebody tweeted out about Amadeus, the movie, which is like pinnacle, one of my favorite movies of all time. And they were like, should I see this? I was just like, yeah, like in every way imaginable. And then there was a spot who was like, it was a scene for the Don Giovanni opera in the movie, and a pretty powerful part of the movie towards the end and toward the middle or whatever. And the guy's like, if that's a screen cap from the movie, I'm gonna go watch it right now. And I was like, dude, it is. Go. Pretty cool. How detailed of a map are we gonna get for the land we were building on, i.e. distance of the river, nearest hills, stuff like that? Okay, I think that's a great question. Now, I don't know exactly what Source had in mind for that yet. I know he had looked at or been contemplating some options, so I don't want to speak too much to that. I would say that I am gonna at some point do a rough sketch in my head, a basic sketch of how far from the water and what the view is from like the longhouse, so that we could see kind of how I was thinking about setting it up. So I will work on a little sketch of that in the interim. I know that Source had looked at some software that he was possibly going to use. And so I don't know exactly what it was going to end up being, but I was going to make a rough sketch anyways. And it's pretty basic, but still. I want to say we're on the Varenka Hills aren't aggressive hills. They're reasonably chill on the hilliness. So, this is more your mountain stuff over here. These start to get hilly, but they're not like crazy tough hills or anything. My thought is that as it gets down to the river, there's going to be a small landing, say 400 meters, 200 meters deep beach, and the clearance that we're going to pick is going to be like 400 meters wide. Well, obviously it's not perfectly flat, but it was the flattest natural spot within the vicinity of what we were looking at. And I would say the blueprint, the outline of the longhouse is going to be like 100 feet from the water, probably about 8 feet. By the 100 feet back, it'll be like 8 feet up. So I think what it is, because the confluence of the Howling River is an important strategic area to scout, that there is at least a scout trail from the South Road to the area we're at. And so, yes, but it's not going to be completely virgin territory. And it's not some huge, like Pokemon in chat, it's not a huge massively forested area. There are trees, but it's not like a huge forest throughout, right? So I don't know how thick beyond that everything is. I gotta go to the poker shop. What did I throw? All right, poker catch. There we go. We got a wild hippopotamus. So yeah, well, okay, I'm gonna make that. Thank you for that. I'm gonna add that to our list of taskings here. There we go. Okay. After we've completed the longhouse, need to focus on expanding the scout trail heading west that intersects the southern, what's it called? South Trail. What was that other one called? The South Road. Intersects with the South Road. This will allow full ox-laden cart loads of materials over road from Barak Var or the other place to the south. I forget what that friendly city is called to the north. Okay, and Allah save. So that's why I like this. It's like, it's great. It's like taking notes so I could like edit the comments and stuff and kind of get it all in one place. It's pretty happy with it. So yeah. And then weave and roll right here. Thubug, Keghead. Yeah, edit functions critical. A link to the map, yeah, it's right here. It's in the episode 1 thread. I think it may be linked also. I'm trying to use Roll20 as the place we capture what's happening in Discord. I'm typing up my backstory in Roll20, but I'm going to share it in Discord when I get it to a working state in my mind. So it's where I'm composing my backstory, but as you see here, there's some ongoing editing and stuff. And so it's actually pretty cool because like Weave and Roll and I have been kind of going a little bit into our characters. I, Thormon, script propose we start a small, blah, blah, blah. He's like, yes, sir, you're talking a longhouse. Ain't nothing apart from a wood log suspended in spare branches. I'm like, all right, this is good. Getting a little bit of flavor for our characters and stuff going on. I don't know. I'm that kind of nerd. I love it. So, Ham Labs, Pandaberry, have you decided on a race yet? Dwarf, human, halfling? No pressure, I'm just curious. I'm on the page. Aim and human, copy. Come on. So my boatman is a boatman, but he's also a warrior class. So aim low to win and be a dwarf. Weave and Roll, what's up? Welcome back. Good to see you. Okay, profession closer to scientist, alchemist, magician. Okay, let's look. So the way I like to look when you're trying to pick something like that would be to go to page 18 and go to the right hand side of page 18. There's a column of boxes. The bottom box is the academic basic career chart, and on the so it's basically the bottom right hand corner of page 18, and if you look at the careers, I know they got some readers because like it's sometimes fuzzy like this, but these are make it go pop, just like when I was 20 again. It's amazing. But like I still could see stuff. I have really solid vision otherwise, so it's like, yeah, I've been kind of using some readers when I'm roleplay because I need them. Okay, so the listings there are Alchemist's Apprentice, Artisan's Apprentice, Druid, Engineer, Exciseman, Herbalist, Hypnotist, Initiate, Pharmacist, Physician Student, Scribe, Seer. So we already have a Scribe, and Pandaberry is going to be a Seer, and my hangers-on's a Physician Student. So we've got kind of those three covered. Don't let that stop you if you want to be those, though. I'm just saying. Student, Trader, or Wizard's Apprentice. Those are the main ones. Hey, you can pick. You can pick. No, that's totally up to you. Yep. Student is a really powerful class, actually, because if you go to page page 39 is student. Reflects a complete characteristic of learning, the word, the play, and all that. No, exactly. I mean, a student is a great one. So let me read you the description here. There are many students receiving formal tuition at the university establishments of the old world. By doing so, they have an opportunity to learn many new skills and so progress into a variety of lucrative and respected careers. Many students, however, tend to forego these opportunities in favor of broadening their range of social activities and developing their less intellectual appetite. Sounds like getting distracted about something. But a student's career exits are agitator, bod, lawyer, navigator, scholar, and thief. Hey! Skills that you have or will get as a student are arcane language magic, secret language classical, consume alcohol, history, astronomy, cartography, identify plants, numismatics, speak additional language, knowledge, skill, and some, and then you'd have a hand weapon, D3 textbooks. The music got really loud, I think. Does it seem like that to anybody else? Hopefully that's better. You'll have D3 textbooks corresponding to each knowledge, skill, and writing kit. So let me find. Okay, cool. Excellent. Well, cool. So I'm gonna add that in here. Human student. That's academic. Excellent. So you'll probably most likely work with Luden Reborn's human scribe, my squire, and physician students. Possibly even going out with the prospector to actually procure some of these things and see them out in the field rather than just reading about them in a book. Dang, another on my way. Who wants to carry this weight? Yeah. Better buy me a car and some oxes. Yes, indeed. So, you know, as soon as we get the longhouse built, I propose the remainder, besides cutting the path and widening the path, the road path, to the main road, south road that goes to Baravar. Besides doing that, I recommend we take the remaining lumber, timber, and stone and making a small pier for our fisherman's boat and boatman's boat, which is a little bit smaller than the fisherman's boat, but could be used to cross the river and haul supplies and do other kind of taskings. The boatman could go in the boat, take a load of whatever down to Baravar and hit up the merchant and come back up river. Usually have to end up paying a mule puller or something like that to help pull you up river, but that seems to be a thing on the rivers of the old world. Mr. Book Guy, the pointy end goes away from you, so you stand it with your pants too. Exactly. I'll get your accent down better after I hear you do it a few times. So we have basic dice rolling in chat here. You could roll single dice only. 1D of any of the dice. I don't think I did a 1D2. Native French. I have accent by default. Okay, gotcha. I'm not good with doing accents, so I would definitely have to hear it to even have a chance of mimicking. Pathetically, mind you, because, you know, I'm still learning. I practice. This is excellent. Okay, so first session was, let's look at the calendar. So if we do the 2-week sessions thing, (25th of May). I think that's right. Yep, 25th. We go. Do we know if the river floods? That would dictate how far we want to build from the river. Yeah, Obite, I believe I kind of asked some of those questions, didn't necessarily answer fully in that regard. The way I took the feedback we got was that it was a fairly established large river, and I would say any real large river is going to flood at some point. So I don't know, right? I would say it's not flood prone or regularly flooding. How about that? So you would definitely know about that. So, like in the mountains, far, far away, right? You know, but we could build it on the nearest hill, 200 meters off the beach, if that's, you know, going to give us a nice overview out over the river confluence. Because optimally, if you look at the map, optimally, my thought being is if we're sitting right here, we will be able to look out and up this river and see all the way upstream of the Howling River which that's the most likely place where baddies would be coming to us from. So being able to scout that visibly, like the furthest distance down that river from where we're at, the furthest distance we could look down the Howling River, the better in my mind. So Groufei, we all live in Barakvar. We literally have just came up on boat, the fisherman's boat, and the basically got dropped off by the Barakvar crew. During our campaign, could I gain stat points into different starter schemes like leveling up, gaining XP, or stats set in stone from the beginning? Yeah, so like Weave was saying, stats go up. You depending on your profession, your case student, right? So let's look at student. What was it, page 29 or something? Yeah, 39. So student here, this section here, this block that's on every this line, this chart right here that's on every profession. That's what's called your advanced scheme, and those are the things you have to level up before you can go up a level. So what I mean by that is you have to spend 100 XP for each one of these advanced schemes, the 10 points, or the 2 would be 20 points. So every 1 or 10 points, you have to spend 100 XP. So it's, for you, it'd be 100 XP for your weapon score. You'd spend that and level that up by 10. Then you'd spend another 100 XP on your ballistic score and level that up by 10. And then the next one down here is wounds. You need 2 points in that, so you'd have to spend 100 and then another 100. And then same for 10 for initiative, 10 for attack, 10 for leadership, 10 for fellowship. Once you've completed all these upgrades in the advanced scheme, technically at that point you can leave that career and start your next career. Your next career is these exits. They're listed here as your exits. You pay 100 to exit. And as long as you have the trappings for the career you're exiting into, like if you're going to be a carpenter, you got to have a saw, you know, that kind of stuff. You got to have the trappings for your career, and then you could go into that career. Now, if you're an academic class career and you're like, you know what? Reading is for the birds, damn it. I want to be a rogue. I want to steal shit. Like, you can cross class. It's not like in D&D. You're leaving the academic class umbrella, whatever you were here. You're exiting out of academic. You pay 100 to exit out of academic. You pay 100 to enter your new, and then you could be a rogue, a cut purse, or whatever. So even if you start out as an academic, you could totally ditch that and become the badass warrior or rogue, or if you're a warrior, you could later become a mage or whatever. So it's pretty flexible as far as the game mechanic system itself is pretty solidly flexible like that. So you smell fishy for 2 reasons. Isn't it great? Fucking great. That's right. How a river works? That's what? That's how it works? What kind of dwarf are you? Yeah, Obite, that would literally be you sitting down with the boatman and the fisherman and yeah, soaking up some of that knowledge on the river ability, finding out how, because this is important for you as an engineer. I'm not. I mean, I'll say build it like close enough to the water I can hear the water, but that might be dumb. I may have a title, but that doesn't mean I know what the hell I'm talking about. So definitely utilize those skills and have some river lore conversations with Grufe, and you'll be like, where I dropped the timber, right? I mean, you're not wrong. We just may have to re-drop it somewhere else. Yeah, you could read a river, right? Or something like that. Well, you might even actually, it might even be like the prospector a little bit. I don't know, a little bit of geology in there. As my lawyer, I mean, you know what I would recommend, Grufe and anyone that wants to do that in an interaction with another member, is to declare what you're doing. Say, okay, we're going to talk about river lore, and then each of you roll dice and see if you get under your intelligence plus the skill it's relevant. So river lore would add 10 to that. River is like a book, my sir. Exactly. It rolls on. So you could just have an intelligence conversation. So you'd roll. For Grufe, it'd be intelligence plus 10 for river lore. And for Obite, it'd be intelligence, maybe plus engineering, to be able to understand how what they're telling you best relates to the engineering aspect or questions that you have. And then if you each succeed, I would say that your knowledge transfer is sufficient that you build it the accurate distance away, so we don't really have flooding issues unless there's like a 1,000-year flood or something crazy, some magic shit or whatnot. So yeah, definitely always feel free to reach out to Source and that, you know. He's obviously only going to be available when he is, so I also prefer to lean on his expertise in a lot of stuff. I'll roll the weapon skill telling you you're wrong, and if you build it over there, that's right. All that stuff is good, for sure, for sure. So let's see what else is going on here. So establish the proper place to build the longhouse. Build the longhouse. Widen the road west to the south road. That's right. We will need a place to live while we do that fishing. Awesome. Ham Labs, that's perfect. If you go through the beginning part of the book that talks about the character creation part, that might help a little bit. We kind of already did some of that, but starting on page... starting on page 14, there's stuff that you'll have to pick out of the text, like when you picked human or man. So on page 14 there's a character race chart, and you're going to roll your stat lines based on these dice here. And oh, okay. And then yeah, on page 14 and 15 is the 4 races, and then it tells you the things like their height. If you're male for a human, it's going to be height is 5'4" plus a D10 inches. So you got to roll a D10 and then add that many inches to 5'4". So if you roll 8, you'd be 6 foot tall. For a female, it's 5 foot plus a D10. For humans, you get 0 night vision, and the language you speak is Old Worlder. That's the standard language that everybody speaks for the most part. Humans or men are the most numerous of the four races of the Old World and the most successful. For this reason, they are often referred to simply as Old Worlders. Humans look pretty much like ourselves, but may be somewhat more rugged, living as they do a more vigorous and demanding age. So there's that section. Everybody's alignment's going to be neutral. So you could just fill that in now as neutral. And then after the alignment section on the bottom of 15 and on the beginning of 16 talks about fate. That's right. Oh yeah, we're gonna have some scraps for sure. I'm sure there's gonna be some scrapping happening. So we talk about fate points in this game. Fate. Imagine you're an important character in the video game and you get smoked mightily by the big enemy, right? You're basically dead. Well, you don't die. Somehow, miraculously, because of the plot, you don't die. That's how like a lot of games and stuff do it. In this game, you have fate points. And the way they describe fate is the essential difference that marks the character as an adventurer rather than an ordinary run-of-the-mill citizen. Adventurer characters have a destiny, a mission, a definite goal in life. They may not be aware of this or what it is. It may not be very glorious. It may not even be particularly pleasant. But the character is marked out by the gods to do it, whatever it is. Because your adventures are marked by fate, they are unlikely to be cut in two by the first goblin to swing an axe in their direction. They are marked for better things. To represent this, characters are allocated a number of fate points, which can be used during the game to save them from serious injury or death. Okay, so normally if you might have died, you lost a leg, or some other major, like you're pretty dead scenario in a lot of games. In this case, you use a fate point and you somehow miraculously survived through this. We were able to sew your leg back on and you were able to walk again after surgery and recovery, but you didn't die, right? Fate and destiny are tied up with the will of the gods and the fate of the planet as a whole. The world is changing, and humanity is the ascendant and the other races are on the wane. This is not to say that individuals of other races do not have a significant part to play, and the histories are yet to be written. However, the player who chooses to play a human character has a definite edge. Greater the number of fate points as follows, and generate the number of fate points as follows and mark them down. There's a chart here for humans, elves, dwarves, and halflings on what to roll. Dwarves have a D3 fate points. Halflings have a D4 fate points. Humans have a D3 plus 1. Yeah, you could use the dice here as well. Let me grab an example. MStat says D3 plus 2. So D3 plus 2 would be roll a D6. And 1, 2, and 3 equals... let's see, 1 and 2 equals 1. 3 and 4 equals 2. 5 and 6 equals 6. And then you just add 2 on the end. It's kind of awkward, but that's actually... Oof, I can't turn my head and look through these. So roll a d6, divide by 3, I think. Or d6 and divide by 2, cut it in half. So like this, d6. So that's a 6. That's going to be 3 plus 2. Yo, cool. You're going to head to bed, my sir. Thank you for hanging with us. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. Rest well. GG's on staying up with your school. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye for now. Oh, you rated shit. Oh, hero raid, dude. I'm sorry. I'm a sorry sucker. I got distracted. I didn't even notice. Everybody, please go check out our friend. Cool, legendary hero. Thank you for that raid. Welcome to the Phalanx Raiders. Oh my goodness. Come on down. Man, rest well, cool. Have a great night. We'll see you next time. And then everybody gets spammed with all those links. There you go. In Warhammer, the dwarves are very stereotypical, grumpy, and so on. Friendly dwarves are rare. Right. Yeah, that's it. I would say the Barak Var are the most human familiar dwarves, because this is an area that's got a lot of humans out here on the kind of dwarven frontier. Oh yeah, hey, weave and roll, sweet, you know, and like, you know, we got plenty of time. There's no real rush, so, you know, it's I think the 25th weekend might get canceled because of Labor Day or whatever. Anyways, so we might be delayed beyond. I think Source already said that he wasn't going to be able to be here, so. Yeah, Ham. So I'm not sure if you caught that. So D3, you just roll a D6 and divide it by 2, and then add the plus number that it says on the end. Group A, where are you at on your character sheet? Now, if you want to do the D3 plus 2 Ham Labs directly, you could do that in Discord, because there is a bot that will do the D3 plus 2. It's so you roll a D6. If you get a 1 or a 2, it equals 1. You just divide the dice roll you get by 2, because you're rolling a 6-sided dice instead of a 3-sided dice. Yep. So when you do your D6, oops, D6 divide by 2. So you got 1 plus the number, the plus number. Let's see, let me scroll back up. I think it was D3 plus 2 was your example. D3 plus 2. So you do, so you roll the 2 divided by 2, which is 1 plus 2. So your total would be 3 with that roll right there. Stats, skills, age, height, and that's pretty much it. Okay, cool. Group A, I can help you with some of that. So you are a human, right? So let's go to page. Okay, so humans' age is, okay, so what you do is you pick for ages, you pick whether you are old. Let's see, hang on. Age. You must roll dice to discover the exact age of your character. They have a choice of creating either a young or a mature character. So older or younger, you pick older or younger, and then you roll on those charts are different. So pick whether you want to be an older person or a younger person, generally. And then for humans, you're going to roll 6d6 for young, 6d10 for old. Oh, you were saying you had it. Let me scroll back up. I have. Gotcha. Okay. So that's the stuff you have already? Okay, cool, cool. Sorry, I can read sometimes. And you have your fate and equipment and trappings. Okay. That is the majority of it. Let's look on the back. Do you have languages? Anything written in languages? At a minimum, you're going to write Old Worlder. Yo, Lucky Guy Gaming. What's up, my sir? How you doing? Old Worlders like that. That's kind of the base. Oh, man, I'm sorry to hear that. Everybody go check out Lucky Guy Gaming. Definitely not cool. It's never fun when it's not fun. Oh man, that sucks. I hate looking for jobs. It's the worst. It's the worst, I tell you. Yeah, so Old Worlder, correct. Let's see if there's any other default languages you get. Oh no, man. Ugh, neck pain. That's not cool. Yeah, neck back stuff. Like, I don't know how you just time. I don't know, man. Gosh, that's tough. Well, man, good vibes out to you, Lucky. That's unfortunate. $35 is the new 200, right? Oh man, I'll tell you, it feels like it sometimes. Feels like it sometimes. Other languages. Groove Fade, did you roll up your skills? We've 700. I don't think that's the right answer. You're a dwarf. Dwarves, if you're old, you're gonna roll. If you're an old dwarf, you're gonna roll 9d20. 3-pinch nerves, dude. That's brutal. Man, I'm sorry to hear that, Lucky Guy. Oh, not in game. Gotcha. Astronomy, fish, sailing, swimming, river lore, boat building. Perfect. Boat building. Oh, that's so perfect. Okay. Sweet. So everybody should write Old Worlder in the back on languages. Just go ahead and do that. So background, place of birth. I wrote that I was from Barakvar. That kind of made that one easy. Do more streaming, you can move your head. Gosh, yeah, that's hardcore, man. That's hardcore. Well, I wish you the best of luck on your healing journey, because I know it's, you know, everybody's is unique, and yeah. I'm a 28-year-old human in the game. Okay, that sounds like a good age. If you're a dwarf, on the back above, right next to languages and kind of in the back center here, there's a section called psychology and health. So if you're a dwarf, in the back in psychology and health, write hatred for greenskins. That's racial. Feel like those virtual ASMR YouTuber donated to your head. I was gonna say, yeah, I mean, you could go pink tube and never have to even be on cam, but that's a whole nother thing, you know. If you're healing, you're probably not gonna want to be on the mic all the time. I don't know. So greenskins are the orcs, goblins, and the other greenskin out there. Dwarves have a hatred for them. It's just, you just can't get around it. Okay, you get to pick your own eye color, hair color. Your height is rolled out of the book. If you don't have that, we can roll that. Weight is just determined. So you choose your weight, your hair color, your eye color, your description. That's all you. Skills, and then hand weapons. Dragons have green skin. Yeah, green skin's a term in Warhammer to include the orcs and the gobos and stuff like that. So while technically correct, the best kind of correct, this is Warhammer. All right, we get a topper. I'll be right back. Gotcha. I know you know a whole lot, so I'm kind of more clarifying for the others, just so we're. Want to keep everybody as much as possible on the good tip, but yeah, I love fooling around as well. Does anybody else have any pressing questions or things that they would like to ask about their character sheet? I recommend doing your advanced, doing your stat rolling with Source so that he could talk through some things with you. But if you're colorblind, everyone might have green skin, right? I guess it depends on whether you're like red-green colorblind or Caucasian green colorblind or whatever, like, right? Because it's usually you're blind to one and not the other. I don't know where I'm at that. I think I got a good grasp on it. I'm gonna do that tomorrow and run my dice in Discord and see if I'm going the right direction. Nice. Well, you've got the basics, so you know you roll your age, you roll your height. And then the rest of that, height, the width, hair, and eyes is yours. Name later, fine. You got the race, gender, that's usually pretty easy. Warrior class, or for you, academic class. And alignment for everybody is going to be neutral, upper right corner. We're going to start, everybody starts with neutral. And then your current career is student, and then I don't really write out the career path until I've changed careers, because then it's like student dash the career I moved into. I usually do that like it's a breadcrumb trail. No, AFK, Groove A, I just went and got some coffee, and I was just kind of doing a question check to see if anybody had any questions about the remainder of the character sheet stuff that I might be able to work with you on right now. Fate points, you roll your rolls, obviously. The top line is what you roll. The middle line is what's in the book under that chart next to your career path. Okay, so where it said student and then there's that chart, that's going to go in the middle. Those are the things you need to advance to the next level. A wild duo in chat. Duo rather. So that's the advanced scheme, is the chart in the book next to your career. Question, did Source give one free advance like in the rules or not? I believe what he did is he let us re-roll a stat of our choosing. I think that's what he did, and I don't know if that was in place of that. I don't think he gave us a free advance. Well, he did not give us a free advance. He may still be planning on that. I don't know. But he did give us one free reroll of one of our stat lines. So, Ham, if you do end up rolling your stat lines and you get a really low one, you want to re-roll it. Also, Ham, for you, because you are an academic, your intelligence must be at least 30. So when you're rolling your stats, make sure you put at least 30 in the intelligence one. You know, I just roll them down the line. But to be honest with you, I don't know if he cares. Roll the numbers and write them down and then put the ones you want in the spot you want, right? So you're an academic, you have to have 30. Well, if you're an academic, you want that to be your highest stat, probably. So put your highest stat. I don't know, right? You might ask him, but I've always thought that was a viable thing. Like, those were the numbers you rolled. I just put them in the field that I wanted. I rolled these numbers, that kind of thing. It's like, all right, but Source is pretty flexible. So, and literally, we're trying to do this to be as flexible as possible, so as many people that want to join can have a good experience with tabletop role playing. Yeah, he's got the final say for sure. For sure. So getting through the book. Thanks for the Q&A, Anna. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome a lot. Yeah. Page 19, bottom of the free advance. Gotcha. Let me look at that again. Adventurers are a cut above normal population in the way that marks them out as heroes with a destiny. To reflect that, the first advance is earned now, and the player is allowed to advance any one characteristic by +1 for strength, toughness, and willpower, or by up to 10% for other characteristics. Some of them go up by 1, some go up by a percentage, but it's still just either 1 or 10. I don't know. Once the players decide what advances to be taken, the current profile line filled in on the record sheet incorporating the advance. A note of how much has been taken should be made in the advance scheme characteristic. So you remember that the advance has been taken. And so what they mean by that is if your sheet in the advance section has a 10 in it, the second column, like that one right there, my weapon score is a 10 in it, so I need to advance that. If I got that, if I spent 100 points on that, or say for instance it was one of the ones I said I could advance, I put a little, like, I kind of highlight in the corner of it in a little triangle shape in the corner and just make it dark, so I know that I've already spent points on that one and unlocked it. Game Master, Dungeon Master, GM, however, whatever. Yeah. Now, if you're talking about the vehicles, hey, that's a whole other conversation. That's a whole nother conversation. All right.